Blueface is a man at war with his past. Whether you see him as a rebel breaking free or a lost boy lashing out, his story has become a canvas for unresolved family pain. His confession wasn't just about love, it was about liberation. However, it is messy and public. A live confession that shattered the internet and a family when Blueface went live and dropped the words, "I'm in love with her." Nobody, not his fans, not his haters, not even his inner circle, could have predicted the emotional wildfire that would follow. It wasn't just a confession, it was a declaration of war. A digital grenade tossed into a powder keg that had been quietly filling for years, full of resentment, jealousy, unspoken grievances, and deep, tangled family wounds. And the target, Karlissa Blueface's own mother. Not a stranger, not a random internet troll, his mother. The statement itself was casual, almost dismissive. Blueface leaned back in his chair, eyes glazed in that half-serious, half-mocking way he often used when blending humor with venom. "I'm in love with her," he said, referring to Chrisean Rock, the on-again, off-again girlfriend who had sparked controversy, fights, pregnancy rumors, and viral fame of her own. But then came the line that shifted the ground. Beneath the internet's feet, Karissa's just mad. She's obsessed with Chrisean, not even with me. With her, the live chat froze. A strange kind of digital silence. No laughing emojis, no caps lock adargments. Just stunned, confused stillness. Because it wasn't just the accusation. It was the implication that the tension between Blueface and his mother wasn't just generational or maternal. That it wasn't about disappointment or protection. It was something darker, murkier, more personal. Then the spiral began. Within minutes, Twitter, now X, was ablaze. Screenshots of the moment went viral. Audio clips were extracted and looped. YouTubers launched impromptu live streams to react. Reddit threads are stacked with theories, some grounded, some wild, but all centered on one thing. Was Karlissa really obsessed with Chrissy? And what did that even mean? To longtime fans, the feud wasn't new. Karlissa had been openly critical of Chrisean since day one. From the first Instagram posts to the wild videos of Chrisean fighting. In kitchens and crashing interviews, Karlissa had publicly called her unstable, toxic, and a distraction. But what Blueface suggested on that live wasn't just maternal concern. He was calling it envy. She hated her. He continued in that now. Viral clip. And it's not even because of what Chrisean do. It's because of what she has. Me, and that's where it got ugly. Because in a culture that already struggles to define healthy motherson boundaries, Blueface's accusation walked a razor-thin line. A line between emotional truth and psychological trauma. Between calling out toxicity and feeding it, psychologists weighed in online. Journalists scrambled to fact-check years of footage. Fans split into factions. Some defended Karlissa, saying she was a mother watching her son spiral into chaos, and that her obsession was really fear masked as control. Others sided with Blueface, saying his mother had long inserted herself into his relationships, sowing division whenever her influence waned. But perhaps the most sobering reactions came from women who had seen this kind of dynamic before. Women who had loved men whose mothers resented them. Women who were labeled manipulative or gold diggers the moment a son started loving someone who wasn't his mom. Women who recognized the quiet war being waged behind Blue Eyes' words. Because to them, it wasn't just about Karlissa and Chrisean. It was about ownership, about what happens when maternal love turns territorial. About the battle between a mother's memory of her son and the woman forcing him to become something else. Karlissa, for her part, didn't stay silent long. Within hours of the live going viral, she responded in a tearful Instagram video. Standing in her living room, visibly shaken. "I gave birth to that boy. I raised him. I protected him when nobody else would. And this is how he talks about me. For her, someone who's done nothing but drag him down. She didn't say Christian's name. She didn't have to. The hurt in her voice said it all. This wasn't just a PR scandal. This was a family falling apart in real time. But the internet is never kind to nuance. And soon, Karissa's own history came under scrutiny. Old interviews surfaced of her mocking Chrisean's appearance. D is leaked of her allegedly contacting Blueface's other exes. The narrative began to shift from mother in pain to possible manipulator. And meanwhile, Christian's silent, utterly and completely silent. She didn't tweet. She didn't go live. She didn't drop a passive-aggressive post, which in many ways said more than words ever could, because while Blueface threw accusations and Karlissa fought back, Chrisean, the woman at the center of the storm, became a ghost, and that absence only fed the fire. Was she distancing herself from the chaos or silently letting the men in her life fight over her value? Behind the noise, one truth remained. Blueface was not okay. His relationship with his mother had been volatile for years. But this wasn't just a falling out. It was a rupture, a deep, possibly irreparable tear in the fabric of who he thought he was and who raised him. And underneath it all, one question echoed: when a man says he's in love, but does it by setting fire to his own blood, what is he really trying to prove? Love, freedom, or just a desperate need to reclaim his own story? Because, for all the chaos, Blueface brings one thing has always been clear. He's still searching for peace, for validation, for loyalty that doesn't come with control or critique. And in that moment, that live stream seen round the world, he thought he was claiming his woman. But maybe, just maybe, he was also trying to sever the last chain tying him to his past. And whether that chain was love or pain or some tangled mix of both, it snapped publicly, permanently, and without apology on screen. Karlissa looked like she'd just been hit by a truck. She froze. Her face tightened, her eyes shimmered with fury, and her voice cracked as she tried to process what was unfolding. Not just the betrayal, but the fact that her own pain was being rebranded as obsession in front of the world. And Blueface, he didn't flinch. He spoke with a kind of eerie calm, spinning his theory like a spoken word performance, poetic, deliberate, and cruel. He painted Karlissa as emotionally entangled with Chrisean, like she was living vicariously through the drama. Karlissa didn't stay seated for long. With raw emotion and shaking hands, she stood and started revealing pieces of her own past. Secrets buried deep, traumas long hidden. It was no longer just a live stream. It had become a public therapy session turned battlefield. And the internet, it imploded. Tweets flew, keychained her healing into his headline. She's done being silent. This isn't a drama. It's a family fracturing life. The floodgates were open. People started asking questions they hadn't dared before. Was this shocking confession the missing piece of a toxic puzzle? Would Karlissa finally show proof of what she'd endured? And most chillingly, how deep does this dysfunction actually go? To understand the emotional weight behind this moment, you have to rewind years, way before live streams and viral tweets. The tension didn't begin with Blueface's love life. Started with Karissa's iron grip on her son's path. From his early days, Karlissa wasn't just a mother. She was a strategist. Every move Blueface made, from football to rap, bore her fingerprints. She saw herself not just as his protector, but as the architect of his success. Even Blueface once said during an Instagram live, "My mom raised me to be tough. That's why I don't flinch. But she never taught me how to feel." What sounded like bravado at the time now feels more like a confession that was never meant to be understood until now. The public unraveling started back in 2019. In a now infamous live-stream, Blueface kicked his mother out of his house on camera. Karlissa had shown up unannounced. Chrisean was there. The tension ignited. And then the moment that would define their fallout: she's doing too much. She got to go. The internet watched as Karlissa, heels in hand, walked away fighting tears. It wasn't just a family fight. It was an eviction broadcasted to millions. That was the start of what would become a relentless war. Karlissa versus Chrisean. From the beginning, Karlissa made it clear she didn't just disapprove of CI. She believed. She was dangerous. Her live stream rants ranged from claims of manipulation and abuse to wild accusations of black magic. At one point, she even said, "My son doesn't blink right when she's around. She has a hold on him." At first, people laughed. Then the laughter faded as Chrisean and Blueface's turbulent relationship made headlines for domestic violence and chaos. Karissa's critics began to shift. Maybe she wasn't bitter. Maybe she was watching her son spiral and couldn't stop it. She posted cryptic stories like, "If I taught him to sense danger, maybe he wouldn't be sleeping next to it." But sympathy didn't last soon. Karissa's obsession with Christians seemed less about concern and more like a personal vendetta. She started posting Christians' mugshots, tagging her in endless posts, even sharing videos of her crying grandson with captions like, "This is what y'all wanted." People began to wonder, is this a protective mother or a controlling force unraveling? Then came the bombshell Blueface's live stream this week. Calm voice, cold words. "My mom isn't mad at Chrisean. She's obsessed with her. You don't bring up Chrisean's name, my mom won't even answer your call. Answer your call." He leaned into the camera and dropped the line that shattered her carefully held armor. "You want to know the truth? She hates Chrisean because Chrisean has the power my mom used to have over me." And just like that, Karissa's worst fear, losing control, was served to the masses like a punchline. She didn't deny it. She didn't even fight it. She went live, and what she shared stunned the world. Stories of childhood trauma, generational abuse, personal loss. She turned the camera on her pain and whispered confessions she had never planned to say out loud. This wasn't a feud anymore. It was a generational breakdown broadcast for millions. The twist, Blueface's words echoed in everyone's ears. "You don't hate her. You want to be her." And with that, the world saw it differently. Not just as a mother who disapproves of her son's girlfriend, but a woman locked in a battle with herself and the pieces of her life she no longer controls. The mother of all live streams, Karissa's silence ends in shockwaves for days. The internet buzzed with speculation after Karlissa seemingly vanished from the spotlight. Her absence was loud. People thought maybe, just maybe, she was stepping back, healing, reflecting. They were wrong. She wasn't retreating. She was regrouping. And when she returned, she came armed with emotional ammunition that would detonate the conversation. Once again, the line that lit the fuse. It all began on what looked like another typical Blueface and Chrisean livestream laughter. Flirtation, messy love on full display. But then someone dropped a comment that shifted the energy entirely. "Your mom said Chrisean put a curse on you." Blueface read it, paused, smirked, and dropped a verbal grenade. "My mom is not mad. She's infatuated, obsessed. She wants to be her so bad. It's crazy." The chat went feral in minutes. Karlissa was trending worldwide, raw, unfiltered, and ready for war. It didn't take Karlissa long to respond. She went live. No glam, no filters, no distractions, just rage, boiling and bare. The first words out of her mouth were a sharp slap. "Y'all think I'm jealous of a girl who had to fight on TV for diapers?" She laughed, but the sound didn't carry joy. It was the kind of laugh that hides a lifetime of betrayal. Then her voice began to shake, and she said something no one expected. "You want to know why this hurts? Because I see myself in her. The part of me I buried just to survive. That changed everything." What started as a viral spat turned into a confession soaked in trauma. Karlissa peeled back the layers. Abuse in her early 20s. Nights spent sleeping on floors. Stealing baby formula to keep Blueface alive. "I sacrificed everything to be his mother," she said through tears. Now he calls me obsessed. At first, the comment section offered sympathy. Then came the moment that divided the internet. I hate her, because she reminds me of who I was before I lost everything. Some called it brave, others called it dangerous, but everyone agreed. Karlissa wasn't just venting, she was unraveling live. The voicemail that shook the timeline just as her life ended. A new twist sucker punched the internet. A leaked voicemail, allegedly from Blueface, surfaced. The voice is unmistakably chillingly casual. She is gone. Turn this into some soba story. Watch her bring up the 9 South like anyone cares. Then came the gut punch. She loves this attention more than she loves me. That's the real trauma. Fans exploded. Was this the end of a crumbling family, or just the beginning of something even darker? A new life, a new fire, and a strategic cliffhanger. Karlissa came back again. This time not crying, but calculated. Music blaring, eyes dry, voice steady. "Oh, you want to leak voicemails?" she said with a grin. "Okay, let me remind y'all what happened the night he got arrested." The internet gasped. Wait, what happened that night? But just as quickly as she teased it, she pulled back. "Nah, not yet. Y'all ain't ready. Mic drop. Live over." Chaos ignited. The fallout and the frenzy. Every gossip blog lit up like fireworks, from the shade room to No Jumper. Headlines exploded. Mental breakdown, tell-all incoming. Theories flew. Even Chrisean chimed in with a PIG story. Let the moms talk. The real ones building empires. Translation, Karissa's screaming while I'm stacking. Then Reddit got involved, and things took a darker turn. A viral thread titled, "The Real Reason Karlissa Can't Stand." Chrisean unearthed old, now-deleted tweets from Karlissa. In them, she vents about Blueface's childhood trauma. Hospital visits, school fights, and something even more unsettling. Claiming she destroyed letters from Blueface's estranged father. Enter the sister with her receipts just when it seemed things couldn't spiral further. Blueface's sister Callie broke her silence. She went live with a single haunting sentence. "They both lied, and I got proof." The internet collectively froze. Callie dropped bomb after bomb. She claimed Karlissa used to hide letters from Blueface's dad, tearing them up in front of him, whispering, "You don't need him, you got me." Fans were gutted. This wasn't overprotection. This was control. Callie's final dagger. Y'all think she hates Chrisean because she's toxic? Nah, she hates her because she replaced her. That line split the fandom in half. Suddenly, it wasn't just a mother versus a girlfriend. It was a power struggle between two women who both believed they knew what was best for Blueface and weren't willing to let go. Twitter threads, TikToks, and celebrity shade within minutes. A Twitter thread titled Karlissa, "The Real Villain," a timeline hit 1 retweet. It included screenshots of her deleted Facebook rants from 2016. Audio of her yelling at Chrisean during the infamous house fight, viral TikTok where she mocked her granddaughter's name as ghetto and embarrassing even celebrities. Jumped in Summer Walker through subtle shades some of y'all moms never healed, and it shows reality star Mika Keishia tweeted, "I don't care how messy Chrisean is, this ain't it." The bigger question underneath all the noise, a quieter, more painful question started to form. Is Karlissa trying to protect her son, or trying to reclaim him because maybe, just maybe, this was never about Chrisean? Maybe this was about a mother watching The Last Person. She built her world around drift out of orbit and realizing she's no longer his gravity. The internet's most dangerous mom syndrome just got worse just when we thought we'd seen the peak of this family implosion. Karlissa's latest livestream and a flurry of leaked clips, celebrity reactions, and clubhouse bombs took this feud into a whole new stratosphere. She's the mom, the manager, the ex. Whack 100 drops a bomb. Blueface is a former manager. 100 hopped on Clubhouse and didn't mince words. Karlissa has been trying to run Blueface's career from the shadows. She doesn't want him with no girl, no manager, not even no friends. She is the mom, the manager, the therapist, and the ex-girlfriend, Al-Anon. Mike dropped Twitter in flames. Karlissa hits back with fire and fury. Karlissa didn't just respond. She detonated. Ice red. Voice trembling. She stormed IG Live, clapping back with fury. That little girl wants to talk about letters. Let's talk about the nights I cried when y'all daddy was out cheating. Let's talk about sleeping in a car with your brother and no money to my name. Don't you dare act like you have no pain. And then she went nuclear. I still got the voicemail. The one y'all don't want leaked. Keep playing. The internet stopped breathing. Another voicemail. The thread is heard around the timeline. According to a DM leaked to a gossip blog, an alleged insider from Karissa's camp said if she drops that voicemail, Blueface is done. Not just canceled custody issues, legal fallout, career death. It's not just drama, it's confessions. Now the question is Blueface the manipulator? Is Karlissa the puppet master or the wounded mother? Is Callie exposing the truth or just throwing gas on a generational wildfire? The internet is at war. Fan pages. Divide has two armies now. Team Karlissa. She's not toxic. She's traumatized. Let her vent. She carried this boy through hell. Team Blueface. She's bitter. She lost control. She needs therapy. Not Instagram Live. People are analyzing her body language, pulling old Facebook rants, and even resurfacing moments where she shaded her own granddaughter's name, calling it Gatto. TikToks, threads, Reddit investigations. It's a full-blown civil war. It's a whisper. That changed everything. At the very end of her latest live stream, Karlissa looked straight into the camera and whispered a name. I can't wait till he talks. He saw it all. He lived it, and he remembers. The internet cracked in half. Who was he? Fans quickly connected the dots. Blueface's estranged father. The same Kali claimed Karlissa kept out of Blue's life. The man who might now hold the final truth or the deadliest secret. Social media is on fire. Where is Blueface dad? #free. Chris E. Protect Karlissa Team Blueface #ToxicMomSite. These are trending on Twitter, TikTok threads, and Reddit simultaneously. A Reddit thread titled Karlissa, the mother, the myth, the manipulator went viral overnight. Highlights include a 2019 IG story where she called Blueface a famed slave, a Facebook Live where she said, I was his first queen. No girl will ever take that from me. Leaked unverified texts where she allegedly called Chrisean a Jezebel. One Redditor summed it up best. This isn't parenting. This is unresolved trauma cosplaying as protection. Celebrities are choosing sides and starting beef Black China. No stranger to mother otter wars. Reposted Karissa's clip with the caption, sometimes the ones who birth. You break you the worst. The game dropped this grenade in a comments section. Blueface ain't been right since all that mama drama started. Tokyo Tony, Black China's mom, doubled down. Y'all don't know what it's like raising a boy into a man alone? I stand with Karlissa. Period. Young Miami took it to comedy. Karlissa beefing with her son and his girl. Give her a Zeus show at this. The Zeus Network twist. And guess what? That might be happening. A post from @TayWithTommy claims Zeus has already reached out to Karlissa. Also says she's in talks for her own docu-series. Working title, Mama Drama. Yep, this feud might go from IG Live to full-blown reality TV. Final thoughts? Isn't just a mess. This is trauma, ego, survival, and identity colliding. In real time, no one knows who to root for anymore. Karlissa might be broken or breaking people. Blueface might be trapped or the one setting traps. And the father we haven't heard from, he might be the next bomb waiting to go off. Stay tuned. The saga is just getting started. Season 3 of this family drama might not be scripted, but it's Definitely streaming live. Let me know if you want a voiceover version for a recap video, a scripted podcast breakdown, a Reddit-style deep dive timeliner, a TV treatment pitch for this Zeus series rumor. You want the real tea? I got you. DNA, deception, and digital meltdowns. The fall of Karlissa begins the plot twist that broke the internet and possibly Blueface's identity. Zeus contract confirmed. Rumors went nuclear when reports confirmed that Zeus Network offered Karlissa a multi-episode deal for a docu-reality series titled Mother of the Mayhem. Added fuel to the fire herself, tweeting, "They want me on TV. I'll bring the uncut version. These lives are PG compared to what I've been through. Instant meme material, instant chaos. Fan reactions, go feral. The internet, as expected, lost it. Karlissa using trauma as clout currency is scary. She built the monster and now can't tame it. If she pulls out a birth certificate and says, 'Look who the father real I am logging off.' This belongs in a psych textbook, not on Instagram Live. People even made deepfakes of Karlissa versus Chrisean in Mortal Kombat. We are no longer in Kansas. We are in Season 8 of Tell Nola with no writer's room. Industry brands get nervous by Hindong's tea. Its scalding brands allegedly paused deals with Blueface due to the toxic optics. Karissa's rumored podcast deal pulled industry fears of emotional instability. Chrisean's team advises silence. Let them burn each other out. Viral fake agency, quote, summed it up. This family needs fewer followers and more therapy appointments. But then Karlissa went live again. The envelope is heard around the world. She appeared on camera holding a manila envelope saying, "They want to talk about lies, about who raised who, about who the father is. Should I show y'all this?" The chat exploded. Was it a DNA test? Ah, custody, doc, the end of Blueface's public image. But Karlissa smiled and said, "Not yet. I'm going to let y'all sweat a little longer." Then the internet snapped. A new name emerges. Andre Eljak sent out of nowhere. A man steps forward on TikTok with this line. Tay and Blueface's real father. 7-minute TikTok. Former semi-pro boxer from LA, Andre Eljak CNA, and he brought receipts. "She used to call me the mistake, but that mistake turned into a platinum-selling rapper." He says Karlissa blocked him, forced him to sign away rights, then lied to Blueface, saying he abandoned them. No wonder why he's in pain. That pain became performance. "That's my son. Receipts delivered." Andre dropped the bomb. 2001 birth certificate. Hospital records from LA County. A faded photo of him holding an infant that looks exactly like baby Blueface. Karlissa ended the concert immediately. Fanbase turns on Karlissa. Hashtag Serupt. #DNA exposed. Karlissa lead hashtag justice for Andre. Viral tweet says, "So she fought Chrisean for corrupting her son when the real corruption was hiding who he even was." Fans ask, was Blueface raised in a lie? Did Chrisean know this all along? Was Karlissa protecting him or controlling him? Chrisean drops a cryptic klutz and posts a now viral IG story. The truth always comes out. Keep playing roles. Who is she talking about? TikTok theorists are already spinning. What if Blueface told her months ago? What if Karlissa hated her because Chrisean knew the truth? Suddenly it's not a love triangle. It's a trauma rectangle, the leaked DM, the final blow. Just as fans were catching their breath, a screenshot leaks. Allegedly a DM from Blueface to a close friend dated last week. Text redacted user. Let me know if you want me to write or imagine the DM's content. TLDRA dynasty imploding in real time. Karlissa went from Mogar to media mayhem. New alleged father enters the chat with proof. Blueface's identity, upbringing, and legacy are now in question. Fans, brands, and even celebs are backing away. Chrisean might know more than she sang on Blueface radio silence. If this isn't season 1 of Mother of the Mayhem, we don't know what is. Want more? I can give you a timeline of events. TikTok style? Script or voice over a fake TMZ breaking news piece. Even a Red Table Talk parody script of this whole chaos. Let me know what you need, because this story isn't even halfway done.